what's going on, man? How you feeling?
Good, man. What's up, Charlie? How you doing?
Doing all right, bro. Doing all right. Busy week. Been running around a lot this week. It's crazy.
But the fall is here.
Yeah, man. The weather's. I like
hoodie and beanies.
I like this weather. Me
too.
Instead of sweating your ass off all the time. Yeah. Sorry for the.
What was that meme you just saw?
Opening the can.
The weather was like a cop or something.
Oh, it said the weather went from 90 to 55 like it just saw a state trooper. I thought that was pretty funny.
That's funny.
Yeah, man. So we've been hearing a lot at meetings lately about sticking with the winners, which I think is kind of funny too, because
it's a great
I've noticed at two separate meetings someone brought up sticking with winners, and someone that raised their hands to speak both said, you know, it's funny, they tell you not to judge, but they also tell you to stick with the winners. So how can you figure out who the winner is if you're not judging people, right?
Yeah, that's true.
But you know, in when you're doing AA specifically, I guess you're just trying to stay sober or trying to stay clean of what your bad living is. I mean, you stick around with people that you feel are doing it. Mm-hmm. So I mean, that's the way I look at it. Like, you know, our sponsor, we have the same sponsor, John, spoke a bunch this week. So, you know, I follow him around like a little groupie. And it's amazing, too, because John's a good speaker. Because a lot of times you hear speakers speak, and they say the same story over and over. But it's weird. John always brings something new to the table every time he speaks. Yeah. Changes up what he's doing. And it's very inspirational. I mean, I don't know anyone that wants to keep this sobriety more than John does. So it's amazing. He had a wonderful sponsor that everybody knows, and he lives by his rules, which keeps him going and works for him every single day.
Yeah,
so
that's what he's passing down to us.
Yeah, it's weird too, because if you're working with him with AAA, he mentions his sponsor a lot. Like, this is what Billy did for me.
Yeah.
So it's amazing too. Even last night we went to a Brentwood meeting because he was speaking there, and everyone there were old timers there, and everyone there was like, "Hey, Billy, I remember you were Billy's little shadow."
Yeah.
So it's pretty funny.
That's cool, man.
And now he's got his own little shadows, I guess.
Yeah. Well, sticking with the winners, you hear it all the time, right? You hear newcomers all the time. Mm-hmm. Like, what happened if they relapse? A lot of the times they have the same friends. You know what I mean?
Right.
And I've done that too. You know, getting sober, I had to really change everything. I had to change who I hung out with. Those stupid cliches, hang out in a barbershop.
Yeah, right.
You know?
Right.
But I do have one or two friends that aren't in recovery, and they are very supportive. But who I see and speak to on a day-to-day basis, everybody's in recovery.
Well, we all learned the hard way. I mean, I think we spoke about this before, that those friends, you're not going to talk to those friends anyway. I have people that are still using that I speak to. Yeah. I mean, they're my friends, but... And
actually, that wedding that I went to, seeing a lot of old friends, I kind of think it changed my outlook now that I have time.
The second wedding you went to.
Yeah, like, maybe I could go grab dinner or something, you know? Like, I could see them, something like that, if I really wanted to stay in touch. But that doesn't mean I'm going to go out, you know, to a bar for the night with them. You know what I mean?
No, but you gotta, you just got to approach, again, I agree with you. I mean, it's not like, hey, I can never speak to you again.
Yeah.
But you just have to approach your actions in a different way, whereas, like, you know, drive yourself there.
Yes.
You know, don't get, because, you know, if you're at the diner with them and they're like, hey, why don't we just pop in, you know, this place and grab, you know, bullshit, we'll grab a drink. I know you don't drink, Joe, but then now you're dragged there. And so you have to have an exit plan and whatnot, and make sure you have yourself.
And I didn't really talk too much about the wedding because of what we did last episode, but I did, like, the way that it was at Fox Hollow, so the way it's set up is we all got ready at the hotel, and the venue's right next door, so I was able to drive, and my truck was there the whole time.
Which is good.
Yeah. But dude, that thought never even came up, man.
Yeah, but you didn't. I was gonna say you weren't in any struggles right there.
I had such a great time. I really did, and you know, I guess I haven't seen these people in a long time. A lot of them told me, "Yo, you're glowing, man. You look great." Some of them didn't even know I was sober.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah.
Last night at the fire pit at Your Journey Begins meeting in Bayshore.
Yeah.
we had a young girl,
Joe,
speak,
yeah,
and she's new to the program, but you could tell that she's already, it's amazing. Like I said, I actually spoke last night and I said it. She came into rooms real quiet, and it was just always nice. Don't get me wrong, but very laid back and not. And she's sticking with. She talks to the right people. You see at the meetings who she's speaking to. I mean, it's weird. When you're talking to the right people, hanging around the right people, other people are around those people as well, so they see it also. But she hangs in the right crowd, and she's
well. In the beginning,
great.
she was quiet, but she took it all in. She listened.
Yeah,
you know what I mean. And we shouldn't judge people, but I'm guilty of it too, because I'll see some people come in on a fucking pink cloud, bro. And I'm just like, this guy's going out. And that's wrong of me. That's so wrong of me. I shouldn't do that. But
I mean, I never really had that. I mean, again,
I was never like that.
I was in the beginning like, wow, sobriety's great, and blah, 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 blah. But, when life happens, then you realize, wait a second.
Yeah.
Wait, I'm not supposed to lose my job? I'm supposed to lose my job still? I thought everything stays. Yeah, I mean, obviously, life happens, but you just deal with it in a different way. A guy was speaking, for instance, I heard, so a gentleman spoke last night at a meeting stating he's 20, I want to say he's 24 years.
Yeah.
And his daughter just died 2 weeks ago.
I heard that. That's
of an overdose, actually. And he just said, this program got me through it. Called my sponsor, called a couple friends, and, it doesn't mean just because something tragic like that happens.
There's no good reason to pick up.
Yeah, that doesn't make any sense.
I found out last podcast we did with the all the guys around the table.
Yeah,
dude, I found out somebody I lived with overdosed and
passed Ian's
away.
Buddy. Yeah.
And I'm like, dude, it hit me. I was like, what the fuck?
Yeah, I mean, obviously we're gonna lose people.
And I mean, I am like you become numb to it after a while. Like I was talking to this with my mom and I forget who else I was with, but you just like you're gonna step over the bodies, and that's the sad truth.
Yeah, I think we spoke about this a ways back too. It's weird. Everything just becomes a statistic.
Yeah.
More than like I never really. Again, it's not. It's not like I don't have empathy or sympathy for someone that passed away, but it's like, you knew that was going to happen eventually, which kind of sucks.
Yeah.
When you're in this realm, obviously, I mean, people, other people that die, friends, family, and whatnot, for different reasons, is one thing, obviously, but it's weird, like.
It's fucked up when you think somebody's doing good, and all of a sudden you hear it.
Yeah, I mean, I was.
That's when it's like, what the fuck?
I was helping a guy move. So he was moving from one place to the other. Yeah. And a sober facility to another sober house, I should say. And he's had a lot of stuff going on. He had 11 months or so clean or whatnot. And when the day he was moving, I think he was high as a kite. Yeah. And I called John. I'm like, dude, I don't know what to do. I don't want to bring this guy here and bring all his belongings there. He didn't have a car, so I was helping him move and stuff. To find out it gets thrown out, then now I'm going to feel worse. Yeah. And John's like, listen, you can't. Yeah. You're helping him. Yeah. You do what you got to do, but tell him, listen, I'm bringing your stuff here. Yeah. And then that's it. Whatever happens from this point forward. And I'm like, I was like, how do you? I don't know how you live that. You know what I mean? It's hard to like comprehend that in your brain, but you have to kind of put yourself numb to stuff like that because you're gonna see. Listen,
dude, the situation, like, I don't want to talk names, but like with somebody who was with me and is now living out of their fucking truck. Oh, like. And you see it.
I saw him yesterday.
Yeah, and you see it, bro, and it's just like, how is that normal? Like, it becomes normal. You know, and it's fucking sad, bro. But like,
there's a perfect
what do you
example.
do? We can't save everybody.
There's a perfect example of someone. By the way, he was surrounded by winners.
Yeah.
Surrounded by them, and he just didn't utilize anything.
He's living.
He isolated. Mm-hmm. His demeanor changed, his attitude. Yeah. I saw that developing.
Dude, that grounded me when I passed that for the first time, and I saw him. I was like, "Damn, bro!" Like, what
unfortunately, I figured. Oh, I was taking a friend to the store.
Yeah.
And we actually passed them. I'm like, wait a minute.
Yeah. Oh, you saw
and they were like, yeah, that's so and so. I'm like, holy shit,
it's fucking crazy, man.
Yeah, I mean,
it's sad.
And then you look at again, and it's sad too because he had all of the tools.
And he just never.
Everyone that he was surrounded with was right, and
and I get it too. At the same time, like you can't help somebody who doesn't want to help themselves. Like each and every one of us has tried time and time again. Like this went on for months.
I was very friendly with him. We talked a lot, and I actually. It's funny too because some of the guys got mad at again because I was an outsider looking in. He lived with the guys that I'm friends with, and I'm like, he's not so bad.
Yeah.
Because he really was faking it till he made it type of shit. So he would have a conversation with me, and I'm like, he sounds like he's got his shit together. And then everyone's like, no, man, no.
You have no idea.
You see, listen, it happens to me. Once you get into the surroundings a little tighter, you're like, oh shit.
Yeah,
this guy's full of shit.
Well, you start seeing all the character defects, and you see what they're really going through and what they really are. And so if you could talk a great game in a meeting, bro, everybody think you're fine.
He was amazing, by the way.
Yeah.
But you could his actions just changed. All of a sudden, he was less and less involved. Yeah. He was always angry every time you saw him.
It was like walking on eggshells being around him, bro.
And then, but the truth of the matter is that it happens more often than the opposite.
And I want everybody to make it. I don't wish fucking bad on anyone, but to just see it, like I was like, damn, bro, that's fucked up.
Well, you got to clean. What did I say? Clean your side of the street.
Yeah.
So you do the best you can for people, but you can't beat them to submission either. No. It just doesn't work that way.
You got to get sober for yourself. You can't do it for anybody else.
Because if you're gonna stress,
he had all the tools. All the tools were there.
He again
didn't want it. I don't know. Didn't want it or wasn't ready to open up. I don't know what it was.
Like yesterday, it didn't work. So I was hanging out with John again. John, at this point, John's more of a friend than anything else. I'm just bullshitting with John, hanging out, and hey, I'm speaking at this meeting. Okay. Yeah. And then all of a sudden, I keep finding myself. I'm like, wow, what the hell? I went to 3 meetings. Yeah. But then all of a sudden, it's like, oh, the Friday meeting, which is the one my favorite meeting of all. I'm like, oh shit, we got to get back. I got to run from this one to this one, and a whole bunch of people that I dragged to that meeting were there, and now that's their place because they realize who goes to that meeting is pretty good. So it's kind of funny, you see all the CK Post guys. There was there was at least 6 of them.
Yeah. Sticking together.
And those guys were, I remember when I first met them, they're like, yo, you know any good meetings? I'm like, yo, this is a great one. Let's go,
Well, dude, I think we could take it all the way back to CK Post for me and you. I mean, we latched onto each other because we both really wanted it.
I don't think anyone that we were there with
didn't want it?
is still sober.
Oh, no, I know. And that's what I'm saying. Like, dude, I had somebody in there come up to me when I had, like once I'm in fucking...
Well, one of the kids is dead.
Who?
The one kid died, the kid that shaved his head.
Oh, yeah. I forgot about that.
Yeah.
And I felt the type of way about that, bro, because for a while I was taking him to meetings. And I was just like, I can't do it no more. Like, I couldn't...
There's another one that's crazy.
I felt kind of guilty over that.
Well, I didn't...
Because I was picking him up all the time.
I didn't deal with him on the outside, but when I was inpatient with him, what's crazy about him is...
Yeah.
He made me start reading the Bible.
Yeah.
He was like, yo, dude, you got to believe in these verses and this. And I'm like, come on, dude, I'm not a God guy, whatever. Yeah. He's like, you don't have to believe in God, but read this.
Damn, I totally forgot about him. See what I'm saying, bro? It's just there's so many people.
And then what's crazy, I'm not making a joke about it. Yeah. So him and I stayed in touch, and we fuck around with each other on Facebook. And I made a joke.
Well, he got mad at me. He blocked me on everything because I'm like, listen, I can't pick you up anymore.
Really?
He was so out of the way. I don't think it was at work. I don't even remember what the reasoning was. I'm just like, if you come to the meeting, I can drop you up, but I can't grab you. You got to find a way to get there. Like I was trying my hardest, bro. Right. Help him out. And I think he caught a resentment towards me, bro. He blocked me on everything, and then I heard that news, and I kind of felt guilty towards it.
It was crazy. I actually said he posted something on Facebook, and of course, me being sarcastic and an asshole because that'll never go away. I got to go to Assholes Anonymous. I made a joke about his post, and then I found out the next day he died. Yeah. And I'm like, man, the last thing I said to the guy was like, hey, you're a jackass or something like stupid. I don't remember. And whatever I wrote wasn't like terrible, but it was just, Yeah. But he laughed, he LOL'd it or whatever. But it was like, holy shit. Yeah. So that means that night was, like a couple hours after what I wrote. That was it. And I was like, wait, no way he died. And I thought that kid, he had, they all, I don't know, man. All of us talk such a good fucking game.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
I don't
know if you could.
But dude, fuck, like what I was saying before is like now, because I've done all the stupid shit the first time I went to rehab, but like when me and you were in there, I'm already counting days sober. So like day 10, bro, somebody comes up to me, he's like, yo, I got Adderall. Just cheeking his fucking medicine. I'm like, get away from me. You know what I mean?
I was there for that.
Yeah. I'm like, what?
I'm like, where'd you get that?
There's a switch, bro. Because I've done, you got to stick with the people who really want this.
I don't really count. Anytime I have a counter on my phone, but anytime someone says how much time you have sober, I open my phone. I really don't. Oh, yeah. I don't.
Well,
it's not that important.
No, as the more time you get, bro. Like I'll glimpse every now and then. But like in the beginning, I was counting every fucking day. Every day I was looking.
I mean, I don't know. To me, after 28 days of being sober, I was just proud of myself for being able to do that. And then after that, it's like, it is what it is. And listen,
you know what's crazy?
I'm not saying that
when you look at the time
times are boring.
No, but when you look at the time you have now, like I remember first starting, and I was like, damn, I can't wait to get that much time. And then once you get that time, it's like,
I don't have that much.
You know what I mean? I'm like
this guy just fucking said 25 years. How the fuck did he do that? One day at a time. One day at a time.
One day at a time, and the days add up.
We had a guy speak yesterday. Clean since 1987? Wow. So what the hell is that? 38 years, whatever the hell it was.
It's incredible. Tara came up to me.
I love Tara.
I love her to death. She's like, I am so proud of you. I'm like, why? She's like, you got through it. The wedding I was at. Charlie was telling me about the wedding. And I'm like, yeah.
She's awesome.
You know?
I was talking to her.
And she texted me too.
I don't know. She just texted me good luck today.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah. I don't know what it is. I tell her everything. It's weird.
No, bro. She's just a genuine, down-to-earth human being.
She must think I'm a washwoman. I'm like, oh, damn.
No.
You have no idea.
Bro, she's got 22 years. That's such a blessing. But I didn't even know that at first.
There's a perfect...
When I heard that, I was like, damn.
Yeah. No, and she's awesome. Well, she was on the show, too, so if you ever want to listen to it, she's a couple episodes back.
Yeah, she's amazing.
That's what I'm talking about. The biggest...
Sticking with people like that.
To me, in the meetings, like, Tara is a person that I'll talk to anytime I can.
Yeah.
Big Mike.
I love Big Mike.
That guy's just got
a great guy.
So many things to say.
He's got like 30-something, right?
Yeah, he's 32 or something.
Dude, it's Storm. Mr. Storm and Norm.
Oh, he's got 14.
He texts me all the
17
time.
or 14?
I think he just celebrated 14.
14, yeah.
But, like, that was the difference, bro. Any other time, I really didn't associate with people, like, who have over decades or a decade. You know?
But when you speak to, like, Tara, Mike, they're not...
You wouldn't think. They're just humble. I don't know.
And they're not, like, this is easy. They're still doing their thing. Like, they still need us around
the biggest thing when I was at the pit one time, Norm shared, he's like, I'm still a newcomer. He goes, and like he looks at himself as still a newcomer. He goes, this is why I stay and I keep going. He's because like I never got this, And he keeps himself grounded all the time, and he doesn't forget where he was.
Mike too. Every time.
Yeah.
Every time I see Mike, I'm like,
bro, he took the burner. Remember a few weeks? I'm like, you took the burner, bro? You have like 30 something.
Mike, we're talking about?
Yeah.
Oh, I had a whole.
Yeah.
Here's, you know what's all right. So it's funny you just said that.
Yeah.
He did that.
Yeah.
The following Friday, and now I'm not talking smack about Mike. This guy is amazing.
Yeah.
He spoke last at a meeting, and so he was struggling with something, nothing terrible or whatever,
Yeah.
but he had to get it all. Oh, he had it. Yeah, well, whatever. I can't say what he said, but it wasn't something terrible.
Yeah.
And then I didn't see him, and then the following Friday,
you could just text me, man.
the following Friday,
yeah,
he wasn't there.
Yeah.
And then Saturday, he comes sometimes to that one, and he showed up on Saturday, and I'm like, yo, you okay? And he's like, yeah, why? What's the matter? I'm like, I don't know, like last Friday. And he's like, thank you so much for noticing that.
Yeah.
You know, it's appreciative that's why I keep coming to these things.
Yeah.
Because he was like, I'm glad someone was thinking about me when I was having a little trouble. I'm like, what trouble could you be fucking having, guy? You got 30-something years, but that's the case. That's what it is. That's what this is all about. Keep coming. You know what I mean?
Absolutely. Can I read this, bro? Because this is like a god shot right now for me.
If you want. Good.
Tara, literally, just now, a minute ago, Tara texted me. Good morning, I'm reaching out because I've become so fond of you and we are very similar. I feel like you lost your spark a little bit. I pray it's just me being overprotective mama bear, but please know I'm here for you no matter what. Whatever you need, if I can, I will do it. Life sometimes truly sucks balls, but when we are honest and do what we know in our souls to be the next right thing, it does all play out and passes. Take God's hand today, Joe, and be the amazing man that you are. Dude, I love her.
So
She's amazing.
You see, we're talking about sticking with winners, and we're speaking specifically of her, and that's what she just said.
Yeah. And you know, so it's true, bro. Life happens, man. I mean, that happened to me a couple weeks ago. I never have the urge to pick up, but I still deal with life. You know, I'm part of that no matter what club. I know that drinking or drugging is not the answer, but I still sometimes, dude, I got my character defects. I like to isolate sometimes when I'm feeling, you know, stuck in my shit. And that's why I love our sponsor. Because he'll see it, bro, before I can even see it. And I'll start seeing him over at the house more. He's like, what's up, Joey? I'm like, what, bro? You know?
Well, and you know what?
He pulls me out of it, bro. He pulls me out of it. And I'm grateful.
We all pick up on
when I isolate
behaviors. No, it's just in general. Like everyone's behaviors.
Yeah.
You're like, wait a minute, why is that going on?
If this was a cakewalk, I think it would be very easy, you know?
Yeah. Listen, there are times where you don't want to be bothered by anyone either, but you gotta keep connected in some sort of way.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I find that pretty powerful stuff when you're with the right people.
You know what it is too. Like John says to us all the time, give it a voice, give it a voice. And certain things, you know, and listen, I'm very open, I'm honest, but sometimes shit that I'm like, that's not really a big deal, but I'll think about it and it'll eat at me and then I'll deal with it for days and then I'll start changing my whole fucking mood.
Well, I actually said to John, that's a perfect example of what you just said. Yeah. Sometimes I'll go to John with something, and because first of all, I went from like not saying anything to anyone about anything.
Yeah, you fucking, yeah.
To now it's like, yo, this bothers me. John, can I talk to you for a minute? He's like, yeah, what's up? And as I'm talking about it, I'm like, what a fucking little bitch you are. You're letting that bother you?
Yeah.
And as I'm saying, I'm like, you know what? Never mind, John. I don't even know why that bothers me. And he's like, well, at least you talked about it.
Dude,
sometimes he doesn't do anything,
there was something,
but it makes me realize.
Bro, there was something, we were doing step work, and he saw, like, I could not concentrate. He saw this thing that I was dealing with. He slams the book. He's like, write it down. Write it the fuck down. And I'm like, well, it's not that big. He's like, write it down. Bro, I fucking wrote a full page. And the way now I'm a firm believer in writing your shit down because you're able to look at it and break it down. I never thought, I was like, that's bullshit. And he literally broke it down and showed me where my defects were and completely changed my whole outlook on the entire situation. And bro, I healed from it. You know?
That makes sense.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, the biggest part of this is getting a sponsor.
Yeah.
And that's the reason for it. So
yeah.
you could at least, and even John says to me, he says, you know, you don't have to tell me everything.
Yeah.
But what ends up happening is, well, at least if you have the right sponsor. Yeah. That's why I never understood that. Well, Get a sponsor right away. If anything, a temporary sponsor. What's a temporary sponsor? If it's a guy I don't want to talk to, I'm not going to talk to him. So what's the sense of having
Well,
him?
I think I've done that when I did NA. I had my boy Mikey was my temporary sponsor because he was just my boy and I was able to talk to him every day. And I think for me, what I did was I used him as a temporary sponsor until I hit enough meetings and found somebody who I really liked.
I just didn't ask anyone until I found what I liked.
No, I get that.
I mean, I kept going to meetings, and maybe I was white-knuckling it in the beginning, and like, oh, shit.
Well, no, did you have somebody that you fucking spoke to?
Well, I talked to you, but I mean, I didn't really, I just was like, I don't know, there's certain, again, it's weird, because in the beginning, I didn't know who I could trust with the things I want to say, but now, I tell everybody everything. I don't really give a shit.
I know, it's crazy.
Like, I mean, there's certain things I tell John that I would never tell anyone else. It's fine.
That's normal.
But most of the shit that I bitch about,
yeah,
I'm like, fuck it, I'll just talk, if John's not around, I'll tell Jack. I don't give a shit.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So it's like...
Listen, because we all fucking rag on each other and we bullshit, but
well,
when it's time to get serious and really, like, dude, we're there for each other. You know?
There was 3 of us out yesterday.
Like, I want to kill Jack sometimes, bro.
Yeah.
I want to fucking murder him. But if I really had a fucking problem, bro, I could pull him to the side.
Well, it's funny. I was out with 2 guys yesterday. I'm not going to say who it was, but we're all fucking ragging on each other. We're in my car. I was driving auto parts stores and shit like that.
Yeah.
So anyway, whatever. We're all ragging on each other. And then one of them got quiet. And me and the other one were like, hey, is everything all right, bro?
Yeah.
We're just fucking around.
Yeah.
He's like, no. I'm like, no, your whole demeanor just changed.
Yeah.
Like, you got a text. You go, is everything all right?
Yeah.
Like, you don't have to tell us about it, but if you're feeling a certain way, say something.
Yeah.
Like, we'll stop fucking with you for like 3 minutes. You know what I mean?
2.5.
Yeah. Like, it was like, oh, all right, no problem.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, it's important to be... Again, like the first time I tried to get sober on my own, and again, you don't have to be institutionalized. John wasn't. John went into the rooms and decided that's what he needed, and that's what healed John. Which I commend that. My personal problem was I was always in my own head, and everything was everyone else's fault.
Yeah.
And when I put myself into inpatient, I'm like, look, I can't talk to anyone for 30 days.
Yeah.
I got to talk about me.
Yeah.
What's up with me? And then that's when I, come to realize, like, wait a minute. There can't be 30 assholes that I hang out with. Maybe it's just me that's the asshole. You know what I mean?
I know.
So,
that's what it does, man. It changes your whole fucking... It gets rid of that victim mentality. Like, my whole life, I blamed everybody else for shit. I'm like, oh, it's the teacher's fault. It's this one's fault. Oh, that boss was an asshole. And then, but now, bro, recovery. Once you start looking at yourself and you see what part you play, and what you could have done better, and how you could have handled the situation. Like, honestly, bro, today, the situations I go through, half the time I'm more mad at how I handled it than the actual fucking situation. Dude, I was never like that.
I got you.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And that's what keeps me growing. That's what helps me grow. Trying to be a better person and learn from my mistakes. Because, bro, we're fucking human. You know what I mean? I make mistakes all the time still. I get it. But it's how can I grow from it and change it? That's how I look at it. It's like, bro, this isn't just for me. So, like, drugs and alcohol was my solution. Because I fucking didn't want to deal with life. And I just wanted to numb myself 24/7. I didn't know how to live. So now I put those drugs and the drink down, and now I'm dealing with life on life's terms, and I still don't know how to live. I'm learning how to live. I'm learning how to get through situations and deal with shit, and that's another reason why a support group. When you say stick with the winners, it really means your support group,
right?
And who you hang out with, and who and that's what I do, bro. If I can't bounce off, when you start hanging out with people with over a decade or time or people who are just doing the right thing, you got somebody you can talk to about something because they've probably fucking been through it.
Always.
And that's what it is. That's the fellowship. That's helping the next person come in and get through whatever they're going through.
How did you figure this out?
How did you get through it?
Yeah. Yeah. No, 100%.
And,
I like I said, it's just, you make a lot of friends and with
Yeah,
people and
bro. I never had friends like this out there.
care about what you were. You
Yeah,
know,
bro.
hey, is there? I never got. Is everything okay?
Yeah.
No
Bro,
one asked me that before.
I know, right? If I had, let's say I didn't have my truck at that wedding, if I really felt the type of way, I can call any one of you and be like, I need to get out of here.
Oh, we would. Yeah, somebody would.
And you guys are showing up with a mob.
Yeah.
You know? Yeah, when my Nana passed away, when I lived out in Riverhead, bro, her funeral was in Brooklyn. And so many people were a little nervous. They just wanted to make sure. They fucking all came, bro. They never even met the woman.
Oh, to
like
funeral.
5 or 6 people from the rooms came to that funeral in Brooklyn for me. I was like, what the fuck you guys doing here? Like, this is what we do for each other. It's amazing.
Shows that you.
It's selfless.
Have
it's like
support.
Yeah.
I mean,
and those people too. I ran into he would actually be my grand sponsor. I ran into him a few months ago, bro, and he's like, Joey, and I'm like, what the fuck? And they're still all sober. They got years now.
That's great.
You know.
Well, yeah. I mean, again, our small group of people, everyone's still here. So that's. I mean, it's. You see it.
Yeah, we all latched on.
You see it. So I mean, it's hard to. It's also hard when you see someone struggling and you're trying to figure out how to, you know. Again, we're all like wash women because we're like, oh, is he okay?
Bro,
what's going on with him? Is that right? You know, I don't want him to. Yeah.
It's like high school, bro. Come on.
Is he all right? What the fuck? You know, you don't have to be in a good mood all the time. I get it.
No, I'm not.
But again, certain things trigger some of us to be like, that's not normal. Why? You know what it is? When you change, and we're getting off topic, I guess, but when you change what you're doing on a daily basis, then everyone gets worried because you're like, wait a second, what's going on?
Yeah.
Yeah, and then you gotta press the issue, and sometimes it's something that they don't want to talk about, or something that maybe they gotta talk to their sponsor about something.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But yeah, I mean it is impressive how when you run into the same people.
Yeah.
That's the thing. When you go to meetings and you go to events like we had, we were at that big barbecue. You see the same faces because those are the people that want to.
How was that barbecue, by the way? I had the wedding.
It was fun.
A lot of people, right?
Yeah, it was
like
pretty busy. There was a band there. They were good.
And even the band was in recovery.
Yeah. Which is kind of funny. Too, yeah. But yeah, they a lot of people showed up. It was a lot of fun. Nice. It was hot out, but it was good.
It's good.
That's when I spoke to Joe, the speaker from last night.
Yeah.
I said, I pulled it aside. I was like, I just want to say something. Like, you're like a completely different person now. Like,
it's
when
incredible.
I first met you were sweet.
Yeah.
But you didn't say a word. Now look at you. You're laughing. You're hanging out, having a good time. You're at a barbecue. There's no beer here.
I know. It's amazing, bro.
Yeah, I was cooking hot dogs and hamburgers. I'm like, I never did this with a drink in my hand.
Yeah, right.
This is crazy.
I know.
But yeah, it was a good time.
That's good.
We had fun. I say that's about it. You're doing a walk tomorrow, huh?
I'm doing a St. Jude walk, yeah.
That's
in
awesome.
the morning, yeah.
Where?
I believe South Street, Seaport. I don't know exactly where they're going. It's in the city.
Okay. Do you know how long it is?
I'm not sure. I hope it's not that long.
No, it's probably about 30 feet. Yeah.
30? Yeah. I'll hop on an Uber and drive to the finish line.
To the end.
I don't know.
Your number. I got here first.
Like a fucking 5K or something like that. I don't think so.
Well, you're only walking, Joe. You're not running, so it shouldn't be that bad.
That's true.
And yeah,
it's for a great cause.
Yes. So that's going on. There's a whole bunch of events coming up that we'll post on. Thanks for sharing.
Yeah.
Yeah, man. That's it for me. I don't got anything else. You have anything else, Joe?
No.
All right, kids. We will catch. We're going to probably record a little early next week, so I might post the next one like Friday.
Yeah.
Instead of Sunday.
Yeah.
Because
I'm going camping.
Joe's going camping.
I'm going camping.
So, there's no. I'm not going up there to do a podcast. All right, guys. Have a good one. Thank you so much.
Take care, everybody.
Have a good week, everyone.